Hello, you're watching News 9 Facebook Live with me, Surat Suresh. Over the past few days, we have been seeing how the numbers have been rising in India and across the world as well. And especially there have been several conspiracy theories of how China was the epicenter, how the origin of coronavirus was in China. After that, China beat the entire COVID-19 situation and they lifted the lockdown in the month of April. Now, 2 months after that, there is another case which has been reported from the wet markets of China, that is in the sprawling capital of China, that is in Beijing. Now, Beijing, recently the officials have announced a wartime emergency in the district because 7 new cases have been reported. It is all from this particular market called Zinfadi Meat Market. It is said that 7 of them have tested positive for COVID-19 from the Zinfadi meat market, out of which 6 of them have said to be have tested positive on Saturday. The authorities have, locked down the entire area. Beijing is under lockdown. Few of the areas have been locked down at this point in time. They have taken swab samples of 517 people, out of which 45 people have tested positive from this particular market. They have also said that the Jingsen seafood market, where one of the patients had recently visited, has also been shut down, and they are disinfecting the area and they're taking samples for testing. Not just that, they have also gone ahead and said that 2 of the patients who have recently tested positive, they were co-workers at a food research center that works with the meat, and one of them had visited the Zinfadi meat market, and that is why now they have gone ahead and they have shut down the entire area. 11 residential estates in South Beijing have been put under lockdown due to the fresh clusters of COVID-19. Now, we had seen how in Wuhan, the meat market, the entire country had said that they will have to ban the sale of meat, especially the bat meat which you get and the other meat which you get. They had banned, but seems like that is, Beijing, the capital, is under the instance where the cases are on the rise. Probably the officials think that this could be the second wave of COVID-19. What we will have to see is that is there a resurgence in the number of cases in China? Because as per the latest report, they have said that there are possibilities that the meat markets are the regions where most of these cases will be seen, especially in the Zinfadi meat market. The officials investigated, they went ahead, they took samples. They have also formed a investigation team to go ahead and also to investigate the environmental sampling will have to be done, the testing process will have to be done, contact tracing will have to be done, and for that a special work unit has been set up. But at the same time, the officials are worried that this could be the resurgence of COVID-19. It could turn out to be another Wuhan of sorts, because that is where the animal to human transmission had taken place. So probably that could be one of the other ways in which Beijing could also become the epicenter if they do not control the spread of the virus now. So for the same reason, what the Beijing authorities have done now is that they have cancelled all of the schools. Now, the schools, colleges were to reopen on June 15th, but because new cases are being reported in Beijing at this point, and because there's a war-like emergency which has been enforced upon in Beijing, they have said that schools and colleges will not be open. Not just that, sports events as well as inter-provincial tourism, all of this has also been cancelled in Beijing at this point in time. So after 2 months of lockdown, probably they had never expected that they will be seeing the cases are on the rise, or they would never see another case, because China has said to be going ahead and controlling the spread of COVID-19. They are testing people more than how much they need to. But what is alarming is that over the past 2 months there has not been a single returnee who has tested positive, but all of these cases which have been reported now in Beijing are all local transmission, and it is also they do not have travel history. So this is going to pose another threat, keeping in mind that there are possibilities that they would have come in contact with several others as well. So this is another cause of concern for the Beijing authorities at this point. So they will have to take into consideration whom all these 2 co-workers had come in contact with, the 7 others who have tested positive, where had they gone, which are the other places where they had visited. So China, yes, we have been seeing how the cases are under control, but the food safety checks will have to be maintained. The wet market, again, that they have posed another threat. There are possibilities there could be new mutations, because studies have shown that the testing kits which were produced, or the RT-PCR tests which were brought in, they were for the first strain of the virus. There are possibilities that new strains or new mutations can be obtained from the Zinfadi meat market as well. So for the same reason, now they're testing these viruses. They are seeing if the genetic material is different. But nonetheless, what we will have to look at is if there's going to be a resurgence in the number of cases in China, if this is the COVID-19 resurgence which you're speaking about, and if Beijing is going towards the Wuhan Bay itself. Now, let's take a few of the questions. Probably you would be asking a few questions regarding what is happening in the state as well. Now, how about Ankit Nair is asking, how about Bangalore situation under control? Well, sadly, what we'll have to say is that over 400 cases have been reported, and we have seen 6 new deaths as well. And on regular basis, even on Friday, we did see that around 18 to 20 cases were reported in Bengaluru. So probably the main cause of concern will be the asymptomatic cases coming to light, as well as several travel returnees, and the contacts tracing is currently underway. The influenza-like illness cases are on the rise. So keeping that in mind, most of them, even the Karnataka government now, the medical education minister Sudhakar has said that the influenza-like illness as well as the SARI cases, whoever is showing symptoms of that, they will have to be tested. So now they'll be taking up those testing processes as well. So yes, probably we could see that the testing process, random testing will begin in few areas, and the SARI and the influenza-like illness cases will also be tested. On the other hand, Shazia Sultana, she's asked, what about second PUC English exam and CET? Well, the Primary and Secondary Education Minister has clearly said that they are not going to be stopping the exams. They will continue as posted earlier. Only the online classes will be stopped for classes 1 to 7, but the 12th standard exams, the SSLC exams, will go on as scheduled. Even the CET as well as the Comet K as well as the IIT, Jain mains as well as the advanced exams, all of them will go on as scheduled. Now, what measures have been taken to control in Chennai? Well, Karan is asking, in Chennai especially, if you have been following up on what is happening, the Supreme Court on Friday, they pulled up the state governments, respective state governments, which includes Tamil Nadu as well, and they have questioned as to why the numbers are on the rise, why the testing process is reducing. That is, from 7,000 on a daily basis, it has reduced to almost 4,000, and the cases are on the rise. Tamil Nadu stands second, and we should not forget that the number of cases are continuing. Over 40,000 cases have been reported in Tamil Nadu, and Chennai is one of the hotspots. So for the same reason, they will have to take up the testing process at the earliest. So that is why Chennai, yes, there is a lot of concern which needs to be there regarding how Chennai is combating. But the testing process will continue. They'll have to reply to the Supreme Court as well. So for the same reason, now they will have to form a report. Well, let's have Bengaluru complete lockdown again for 30 days. Well, that is an opinion which many of you might be having, keeping in mind that the number of cases are on the rise in Bengaluru. But at the same time, what we will have to consider is that how that can be done in the hotspots. At the same time, how the Karnataka government will take it forward. keeping the economic activities in place, at the same time how they will be combating this. But one thing which we will have to keep in mind, all of you who are watching this, do ensure that you follow three main procedures here. That is, wear your face mask when you go outside, use sanitizers whenever necessary, and also maintain social distancing. Three remedies which is in your hand for you to avoid contracting COVID-19. At the same time, Beijing now, like we spoke earlier, could turn out to be hotspot, but all we can hope is that, in the coming days, we will be having vaccine, because remdesivir, they have already started their third phase. Moderna has started its third phase of clinical trial, and there are other, vaccine cures as well, which they are trying out. Final stages of, the clinical trials. Hopefully, we'll be having vaccine soon. Well, hope you like this Facebook Live. If you have liked it, share your comments, as well as like, share and subscribe to all of our News 9 digital platforms on social media.